What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into episode 184, everybody. I am your host, Sleazeball. Today's episode is going to be Week 16 Fantasy Football Playoff Semifinals. Top 10 defenses, top 10 kickers, plus one streamer each heading into the week here. And I'm dropping the video before the waiver wire night, so in case any of these defense or kickers are on your waiver wire, these are kickers and defenses I like, and I will give you the statistics on both sides of why I like them. And one thing I try to look at is I try to look for grunge battle matchups, in-division matchups, and staying out of bad weather. That is one of the key things for fantasy football here down the stretch. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that like. Make sure you hit that subscription button. It helps me out a ton. You guys have been absolutely amazing this season with all the support. And turn that bell on. I will be live Thursday and Friday, and then I head out of town Friday afternoon. I go to Tahoe for the wife's family Christmas, so I won't be here for any of the shows this weekend. I'll be back on Tuesday. So if you guys can't make any of the live shows, you can drop any comment you want down below. One of my goals all season long is to answer every single comment, regardless if you make the stream or not. It does not have to pertain to this video. I am here to help you guys get to the finals and get that ultimate goal of a trophy. And let's dive into my Week 16 defense and kicker rankings. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my revamped Week 16 defense kicker ranking board. I will not be using the baller tier at all. Tier 3 will be what the streamers are. Tier 1, Tier 2 will be the top 10 kickers. Tier 4 and Tier 5 will be the defenses here. And on the bottom right, you'll see the kickers that are out. You have Evan McPherson and Austin Siebert are still not back for the Bengals and Commanders. Now, my number one kicker on the week is going to be Jake Bates of the Detroit Lions going up against the Chicago Bears this week. I had Younghoe Koo as my number one kicker last week against the Bears because the Bears have a very good red zone D and they give up a ton of kicker points. So you also saw Younghoe Koo not take the 56-yard field goal, which would have been a 5-point there. They tried to draw him off sides. And then you saw them get sacked in field goal range again. So Younghoe would have been a very good play last week. It just didn't work out with the way the game script happened. Now, the Chicago Bears rank 26th versus the kicker, giving up 9.4 points. Then when you look at the last 4 weeks, what the Bears have done versus the kicker, they rank second to last, giving up 11.25. That is why I like Jake Bates so much this week. And you're going to have the Detroit Lions, whose defense is decimated. They are going to have to score at will because their defense is not going to be able to stop anything with all the injuries they've sustained. Kicker number 2 is going to be Brandon Aubrey. And man, it was awesome seeing him take that long attempt last week, right? I want to see him take more 70-yarders. It's crazy to see. But the Dallas Cowboys offense is moving here a little bit. Cooper Rush is getting a little, acclimated with the system. Threw 3 touchdowns last week. Absolutely great performance from him. And you're going to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They give up 8.1 points to the kicker on the season total. And in the past 4 weeks, you're looking at Tampa Bay that is also giving up, as I'm trying to find them here on the end of the season. I'm missing them as we're going through the video. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the last 4 weeks have given up about 6 points to the kicker, so they've held them down. But one thing I like to look at as well when I'm looking for kickers here is the over-under of the game. Games they think that are going to be high-point games. This is at 49.5, guys. So if you're looking at the rest of the week spreads, and you take the Vegas odds, this is the highest point total of the week. So you have to love Brandon Aubrey in this game. Kicker number 3, Joshua Carty, the Stanford rookie, absolutely blasted my 49ers in a very ugly game with no touchdowns last week. And the LA Rams get the win, and they're fighting for their season now. And they're going up against the New York Jets defense here. So the New York Jets defense on the season allows 10.1 field goals or points to the kicker, which ranks 28th right there in the bottom because their red zone defense is good. And then when you look at the New York Jets for the past 4 weeks, their red zone D has been phenomenal. But they're allowing 13 kicker points. So Joshua Carty is one of my favorite plays this week. If he's on your waiver wire, you should definitely be snagging him and starting him this week as a smash play. Kicker number 4, Chase McLaughlin, sticking with that Cowboy Tampa Bay Buccaneer game, the highest point spread game of the week. And Baker Mayfield looks phenomenal this year. I mean, I did not think he was going to be as good as he is. I have to give him props there. But the Dallas Cowboys defense has given up 6.75 to the kicker in the past 4 weeks. And on the season, the Dallas Cowboy defense has given up 8.7. And in a shootout game, you're going to get Sunday Night Football too. So you get kind of the last lap before Monday Night Football for your kicker. I like that as well. And I love Chase McLaughlin this week. Number 5, Chris Boswell, the number 1 kicker in fantasy football. This guy's been electric except for the Eagles game. Did not work out for them. I did not like the game script. I had Chris Boswell ranked lower last week, and that's exactly why. Now you're going to get the Ravens here. This is another game where it could get out of hand here. They need to get George Pickens back out there. He, didn't go through walkthrough, but he was working off on the side today, so it looks like that grade 2 hamstring. He may be back. Again, nothing's official there. But I'm going to rank him at number 5, lower than normal again, just because I don't think a lot of field goals are going to pop in this game for the Steelers. But he's still the number 1 kicker, and he's been phenomenal. Number 6 is going to be Kaimi Fairbairn going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, and it looks like you're going to get Patrick Mahomes. He was supposed to be, quote-unquote, week to week, and then all of a sudden now he's practicing fully. One of those Kansas City, think about it, weird things. I don't know ever what goes on with the Chiefs, man. They're just the NFL's darling. It's very weird. But the game's at a 39.5 over-under. You should take the over right now if you can, because Patrick Mahomes will be out there. And when you're looking at this game, the Kansas City Chiefs versus the kicker right now, right? So, sorry, I just had lunch here. The Kansas City Chiefs on the season allow 6.6 points to the kicker. Kaimi Fairbairn has been phenomenal this year. The Kansas City Chiefs in the last 4 games are giving up 6 points as well, but I'm throwing all of that out the window. I know the Chiefs defense is very good in the red zone, and I feel like if the Texans get down there, this is going to be more of a Kaimi Fairbairn game because the Chiefs are very hard to score on. Kicker number 7, Younghoe Koo. He was my number 1 kicker last week. He had it, like I said at the beginning of the video. He got 2 field goals taken away from him to flags, and they tried to draw him off sides. They should have kicked the 56-yarder. He would have made that. And now you're going to get the New York Giants. We know the New York Giants offense is depleted. It's probably the worst team in football all the way around. And your points are going to be here in bunches, and Kirk Cousins is struggling. So as long as they can just get down the field, it will be more of a Younghoe Koo game here. The Giants have been giving up 7.7 points to the field goal kicker on the season. And in the last 4 weeks here, the New York Giants are only giving up 5.5. But again, I'm throwing that out the window here because the Falcons offense has been struggling in the red zones. Kirk Cousins, man, he looks very bad. But as long as they get down in range, I don't see the New York Giants scoring a lot of points in this game. I love the Falcons defense as well. We'll get to that in a second here. But you got to love Younghoe Koo this week. Number 8 is going to be Tyler Bass in this unbelievable Josh Allen run that he is on. There's no way you're not starting Tyler Bass with how the Buffalo Bills are moving the ball. Their offense is back healthy. They have all their pieces. This is going to be just points galore. The only reason I'm ranking him lower is because they score so many damn touchdowns. You don't really get a lot of field goals for Tyler Bass because they score 5, 6, 7 touchdowns a game. Josh Allen's on his MVP run. He's my MVP vote for the season. Unbelievable performance he's putting up. But still, even when you score 7 touchdowns, you're getting 7 extra points. So, I mean, I'm still going to keep Tyler Bass in my top 10 at number 8. Number 9 and number 10, we're going to talk about this same game here. So I go Cameron Dicker, and I go Denver Broncos Will Lutz for the Thursday night football game that's at a 42.5 over-under. So when you're looking at this game right here, right, the Denver Broncos are giving up 9.33 kicker points per game. And you're going to not be at mile high, so you don't get the extra altitude kicks in this game. You're going to be going up against a tough Charger defense with Khalil Mack back. They're tough in the red zone. They've been on a little bad streak right here. This is going to be a great Thursday night football game, by the way. I can't wait to watch it. And when I'm looking at the Chargers, they're giving up 11 points to the kicker, which is 4th worst. So you have to love this right here for Will Lutz in this game and Cameron Dicker, because both these defenses are in the top 10 and giving up kicker points. They both have great red zone defenses. And this is going to be a division battle, ugly game this is the playoff spot on the line for both of these teams right here, because you don't know how, you already have the Division 1 and they're fighting for a wild card spot between the two of them. This is do or die time here. So every point is going to matter in this game. I love both these kickers. My streamer kicker of the week, and if he's on your waiver wire, I like this play a lot. Brandon McManus of the Green Bay Packers. So you are going to get Monday Night Football. You are going to get the New Orleans Saints, who we know the Saints offense hasn't moved the ball at all. And their quarterback, Desmond Ridder, came in. It was Jake Haener at first. Very, very ugly situation for the Saints going forward. You might even have Alvin Kamara banged up now, so you know their offense isn't going to move the ball much, and the Pack's just going to run the ball down their throat with Josh Jacobs. And they're going to have points galore for the kicker here. So the Saints give up 7.9 on the season, which ranks them right in the middle of the pack at 15. And the Saints in the past 4 weeks are the best team versus the kicker, giving up 4.6. But again, I'm throwing that out the window here because of course they're just letting touchdowns and touchdowns and touchdowns go because they didn't stop anything. But now you're going up against a juggernaut team. I expect at least an 8 to 10 point performance here for Brandon McManus, and I really like him as a streamer this week. Sticking with the Green Bay Packers, heading down to my defenses. My defense number 1 on the week is the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they are going to get Monday Night Football, and they are going to get the New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints, like I just said, their season is shot, guys. It's absolutely over for the Saints. There's nothing to play for. They're going to probably not have Kamara. He's day-to-day. Again, pay attention to the injury updates there. But, I mean, this is probably going to be sacks, picks. The Green Bay leads the NFL in takeaways. They just balled out in a matchup where I didn't think they would last week. I love the Green Bay Packers this week. My number 2 defense is going to be the Minnesota Blitz Crazy Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings this week are going to get a matchup where, God, they just keep winning, man. It's crazy. But they're going to be at Seattle in the 12th man this week. Now, why do you love that? Because we don't know if Geno Smith is going to be out there yet. And you saw Sam Howell. I tweeted out, I was like, man, I think Sam Howell's going to come in and do good. Like he was slinging it at Washington last year. He looked terrible, didn't know the offense, threw a pick. Vikings will eat him alive if he's out there. Both these defenses were even hard to rank for 1 and 2 between me because I love them both so much. So these could both literally be a 1 ranking. That's how high I am on these defenses this week. Defense number 3 on the week is going to be the Buffalo Bills. Now, I know the Bills have just been in 2 shootout games of 80-plus points. But now you're headed home, and you're going to get Drake May with no weapons on offense. New England Patriots headed into town. And the Chiefs, the Bills are trying to chase the Chiefs for that 1 spot here. So, you got Mahomes banged up. Looks like he practiced. He may play, like I said. But you have to love this at home. I don't think Drake May is going to do a lot. I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on him. A couple interceptions coming in this game. And Buffalo Bills is my number 3 defense. Number 4 defense is going to be the Atlanta Falcons. And this is what I told you guys last week. If you were subscribed to my channel, you always play ahead versus the New York Giants. This offense is terrible. So the Falcons defense is not great. They had a good week last week. It was another good matchup for them. They have a very easy schedule. So you should be picking them up to look for ahead either way. Like I said, like I kind of said last week, the New York Giants, I don't even know if they'll score a touchdown the rest of the way. They look terrible. You have to like the Atlanta Falcons D. They are my number 4 defense on the week. Number 5 is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. And I got a lot of questions, a lot of comments. Why did I like the Dallas Cowboy defense last week? Because they're playing the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are terrible. Bryce Young, turnover machine. I know he started to find a rhythm, but I never really bought into it. I'm still taking the Arizona Cardinals, my defense number 5, even if they're at Carolina. The Panthers are just bad to watch, man. Now, defense number 6. This is one that I really like here a lot because of the change. So the Cincinnati Bengals are now not going to be going up against Jameis Winston. Yes, does Jameis Winston throw interceptions like crazy? 100%. But Jameis Winston can also light you up for 400. He's almost threw for 500 yards this year. He threw for 497 a couple weeks ago. So I love this now because Dorian Thompson is going to be the quarterback. DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson. And he's played 3 games in his NFL career, full games, 3 full games. He's had 440 passing yards in all of those games combined. That is not good football. That's 150 yards passing. He only has 1 passing touchdown in those games as well. The Bengals fighting for their season, still playoff hope, still alive. They are going to be coming after him, and it's going to be very, very ugly. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Jameis Winston back in there at half. Number 7, I messed it up. I went to the Eagles first. Number 7 is going to be the Colts and the Indianapolis Colts this week. And there's a quarterback change happening, right? So they're not going to be going up against Will Levis, but they are going to be going up against Mason Rudolph. Has he had a couple good games? Yes. The Colts are back at home. I still like them versus Mason Rudolph. I know Tyjae Spears had a game last week, looked great. Tony Pollard found the end zone. Calvin Ridley didn't do much. But with the way the Titans passing offense is going, I mean, the Bengals are good at stopping the run. That's the only thing the Titans have really is the run. So in the pass game, it's going to be ugly. So I like the Colts D at number 7 this week. Number 8, you already saw it, is my Philadelphia Eagles. And you're going to be like, why versus the Commanders? This is a statement division game here. The Eagles are going to get after the rookie JD5. And I like the Eagles to stomp them out of the building in this game. And I know you're thinking, there's the Commanders and they're fighting for a playoff spot, 9-5, and the offense is great. I get all of that. But this is a different beast here. This Eagles defense is good versus the run, good versus the pass, good versus everything. They have the most well-rounded defense in the NFL. And since Cooper DeJean has been into this defense, is just a different beast, man. Number 9 and number 10, we're going to do it just like the kickers. I'm going Broncos Chargers here. I think this is going to be a ugly division, scrunch, scrappy game. That's what you look for. Probably like 2017, low scoring, lots of sacks, lots of turnovers. But again, it's such a battle game between 8-6, 9-5 between these teams in the division that you have to like both these defenses. You have to like both these kickers. I really, really like these teams, these kickers, and these defenses this week. Now, my streamer play of the week, and this is going to be really bold here, but I had him at my number 2 defense last week, and it absolutely hit. The Dallas Cowboys. So nothing I could say right now on paper would say the Dallas Cowboys defense is a great play versus Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield has been out of his mind. But the Cowboys are at home. They get after the quarterback. They get turnovers. And they're just a defense that can stay within an 8 to 10 point range weekly because Micah Parsons is an absolute freak. He's like the number 1 player that offensive coordinator has to worry about with the offensive line to stop because he's just an absolute animal. So that's the only reason I like the Dallas Cowboys defense as a streamer play this week. Thanks for rocking with me today. That is the end of the episode. That is my week 16 top 10 defenses, top 10 kickers with 1 streamer each for you guys in the fantasy football playoffs. And remember, if any of these teams or kickers or defensive teams are available on the waiver wire tonight, this is something you should be looking into for your roster, unless you have one of the top defenses or kickers already. So before we head out, guys, make sure you smash that like, make sure you hit that subscription, turn that bell on. Again, you guys have been absolutely awesome. All the support is greatly appreciated. I will be doing some type of giveaway, maybe $100 or something on my 200th episode. We are almost there. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. And then I don't know if I'm going to get my quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end rankings out today, but I might try to get one of them out, but I will have them out tomorrow before Thursday. Again, I head out of town Friday and I'll be live Thursday and Friday again, taking all your guys' questions. And Friday is like a little bonus show. So I'll be like live for 3 hours, just drafting and taking all your guys' questions. And if you can't make it again, you can drop any comment you want down below. That was one of my main goals this year as a content creator, was to try to get to every single question you guys had, and I've done as much as I can to help you guys out. So helping me out with a subscription or a like is always greatly appreciated. And that's it for me in this video, man. Sleazeball out. Hope to see you guys in the next one.